Greetings everyone, my name is Dr. Jason Freeman and I'd like to welcome y'all to my channel. A surprising number of prominent black superheroes wield the power of electricity. From Storm, to Black Lightning, to Static, and even Miles Morales. But why? In this video, I'll tell you the reason why the electric black guy trope is one of the most durable tropes in the entire media. But before we go any further, I want you to smash that like button, hit the notification bell, and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. So let's look at some potential theories for why so many black superheroes wield the power of the electron. Theory number one is just some weird coincidence. With so many black superheroes, there's bound to be a few with electric powers, right? Well, the problem with this theory is that there aren't a lot of black superheroes, and so when you start to list them, it's actually easier to list the ones with electric powers than those without. So you'll start with Green Lantern John Stewart. You'll talk about maybe Steel. But then at some point you get to Miles Morales and now your list is messed up. A disproportionate number of black superheroes have electric powers. And if it was just a mere coincidence, you would expect a more even distribution. And I suspect that if we graphed all the powers of black superheroes, we'd likely see a clustering effect around electric powers. Now this clustering effect would likely indicate intentionality, whether conscious or unconscious. A second theory for why so many black superheroes have electric powers is that maybe there's something about having dark skin, like myself, that seems to mesh with electric powers. While I would say this theory has more credence than the mere coincidence theory, I would question why it's just electricity and not other types of flashy powers like pyrotechnics. Also, there are plenty of other white characters such as Thor who also have electric-based powers. A third theory for why so many black superheroes have electric powers is that there's some kind of stereotype connecting black characters with electric powers. So maybe the flashy nature of the powers is linked to a stereotype about how we as black people are flashy and flamboyant in how we present ourselves. I mean, flashy and flamboyant. And while I will concede that if you look at many early black superheroes, a lot of them are presented in this flashy, flamboyant way, including and especially those put forth by non-black artists and writers. There are other black stereotypes, such as being naturally superior in speed and strength, that seem like it would also have a clustering effect in regards to these powers appearing in comic books. But we don't see a disproportionate number of black superheroes with super strength or super speed. It's just electricity. I hope you're enjoying the video, but I just wanted to quickly mention that if you're enjoying what you're seeing from the DCU or DC Comics in general, why not buy a Funko Pop of your favorite DC character? I have a few myself and will definitely be getting more. To get your own Funko Pop DC character, click on the link in the description. A fourth theory for why so many black superheroes have electric powers is that it's somehow linked to African mythology. Now the critique I have of this theory just makes me sad. While there are figures within African mythology who have electric-based powers, such as Shango, the god of thunder and lightning within the Yoruba religion, a lot of these figures aren't well known within the West, even among comic book artists and writers. There were active efforts to strip Africans of their culture during slavery, and unfortunately, some of those efforts were successful. And while some Africans in the West were able to mesh African and religious cultures to preserve African elements, I still don't think this is a strong theory to explain why so many black characters have electric powers. And so why are there so many black superheroes with electric-based powers in comic books? Well, it comes down to the character of Black Lightning and the tendency of so many comic book creators to consciously or unconsciously copy others. The conscious tendency to copy is plagiarism, of course, but the unconscious tendency is called Cryptomnesia. Cryptomnesia is the appearance and consciousness of memory images which are not recognized as such, but which appear as original creations. In other words, we see something at one point, forget that we saw it, and unconsciously believe that we created it.
I wrote Method Man, I was like 15, 16 years old.
Right.
16, 17, yeah. My mind works crazy. I don't know where I heard these records before, but it was etched in my head. Hey, right. You, get off my cloud. Hey, you, get off my cloud. You don't know me and you don't know my style. Hey, you, get off my cloud. Who is that? I think that's Boosie Collins. Hey, you, get off of my cloud. By the time I got to the METHOD, man, that was already etched in my head from, you know, METHODOFLOVE, Big Hall and Ocean. Yeah. The man part came from Master Ace. One of my favorite records was Music Man. Music. So it was METHOD, man.
So you put like 3 songs together and made your own shit.
Bunch of shit. The other hook part, I got fat bags. That's the Beatles. She's got
So these comic book creators may have seen an electric bass character who was black before, maybe forgot about it, and then later on, when they were going to create their own characters, they unconsciously copied this original image, or they just plagiarized it. Now, Black Lightning is a prime candidate as being one of these early images of electric-based powers that others either consciously or unconsciously copied. Now, to be fair, Storm did appear first, but you can look at her powers as more broadly weather-based powers with some electricity. With Black Lightning, it's primarily electric, and you can clearly see the path that goes from him to other specific characters who have similar power. Black Lightning made history in April of 1977, being the first black DC character to have his own solo series. In Black Lightning #1, we get Jefferson Pierce, aka Black Lightning's backstory. He's a school teacher who returned to Metropolis to help his community. He's a former Olympic athlete. He is a scientist. He's basically an exceptional person who wanted to give back to his community. Now, unfortunately, he found his community was overrun by a gang known as the 100, and so to protect his students, he takes on the characterization of Black Lightning. So in this original iteration, he has an electric belt, so technology that gives him the electric powers. However, in Black Lightning Year 1 that was published in 2009, his origins retconned, and so now in this version, he has a metagene that gave him the electric powers from birth. Either way, the first appearance of Black Lightning set a precedence, and so you start to see these black characters with electric power start to pop up more and more over the years. For example, in 1977, the same year that Black Lightning debuted, you also get the introduction of Black Vulcan. Now, the story behind this is that Hanna-Barbera wanted to include Black Lightning as part of their Super Friends Hour. However, because of rights issues and disagreements, they were not allowed to use Black Lightning, so they created their own black electric-based superhero, Black Vulcan. And so millions of kids on Saturday mornings saw this new character, saw Black Vulcan as their maybe first black character with these electric powers. And so in the years hence, you started to get, again, other characters with the same exact power set. In 1993, you get Virgil Hawkins, aka Static. Now, I've talked about him in a previous video, so I won't go into detail here. But basically, you have this black character with the same power set as Black Lightning, and so it's likely that maybe this is Cryptomnesia, where they see this character, they see maybe Black Lightning, Black Vulcan, and so now you have the same character. Now, Virgil Hawkins also went on to be a major character. A lot of kids saw him, and then after that, again, you see the same kind of cycle. That basically, people see these characters and either consciously or unconsciously copy them, so you get the same character type with the same power set. Now, of course, this isn't without precedent. Superman debuts in 1938, and then after that, you get characters like Shazam and Apollo, Hyperion, and the Sentry. The Flash J. Garrick debuts in 1940, and eventually in 1956 you get the Flash Barry Allen. along with characters like Quicksilver, Makari of the Eternals, and even A-Train in The Boys. And this pattern doesn't seem to be letting up in the current comics. Right now, Aqualad Calderon has electric-based powers, along with, as I mentioned before, Miles Morales. Though there is some pushback to have such a disproportionate number of black characters with electric-based powers, and so what I'm excited to see in the decades to come are creators of black characters get more creative with the power sets. It'll be interesting to see what different power sets we'll see again going forward. Now, if you found that video interesting and or informative, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, please share this video. And if there are other theories about why so many black characters have electric-based powers that I didn't touch on here, feel free to leave those in the comment section below. Thank you all for your time and have a wonderful rest of your day.